But I mean, you straddle many continents as well, right, Shantanu? A bulk of your business comes from the US as a market and by way of business for your e-learning initiative. Uh, do you sense a dichotomy there in terms of what's happening? I mean, you feel for here, but the money is there.
Oh, no, no, not at all.
Really?
In fact, in the world of education, it's really interesting that if you look at different societies, look at the Indian society, we invest a very small amount of money in our education because we don't have enough money to spend. And the output of our education system, despite the fact that parents are so motivated, students are so motivated, they work 10, 12 hours a day, it's actually pretty dismal. So 50% of students fail to make it past the school leaving examination. Now cut to the US. Okay, very prosperous economy. They don't believe in putting too many kids into school. They spend $7,000 a year on each student. We could educate a whole village with that amount, and look at the output that they achieve with that. 78% of students in the US failed in the grade 12 math examination. So the point that I'm trying to make it, there is universal pain. Societies haven't been able to really understand how to deliver educational outcomes. Now, look at Educomp in that backdrop. So, I don't look at this as a US or an India or a Singapore or a China problem. When I look at the world, I see a borderless world. I see, there are classrooms across the world, and the problems of these classrooms are exactly the same, no matter where the classrooms are located.
Yeah, no, but the point I was making, Shantanu, is that does it irk you when people say, oh, there's so much coming in from government schools, oh, the days receivables are so much longer, there's a problem with the cash flow for this company. Does that irritate you? Because, I mean, it's fair for them to ask it, right? They're tracking the stock.
Yeah, the ideal business? Growing at 200%, making 90% margin, no risk at all, doesn't exist, right? So these are challenges, I think, that you have to deal with. So the fact that, the government is starting paying us, fine, we do a great job so that they have no reason not to pay us, and we eventually get the money. So I think some of these challenges are, overrated. Broadly speaking, if you do something that adds value to the customer will be more than happy to put money on the table for you to do that. And that's been the mantra in Educomp.
When Shantanu went IPO in 2005, he actually wrote a note to all his batchmates at IIM Ahmedabad asking them to subscribe to his issue. If they had, at 110 to 125, they would all be very rich people right now.
The education sector has got its validation by the performance of Educomp, ably led by its dynamic leader, Mr. Shantanu Prakash. Educomp has heralded aggressive public-private partnership in this country. Its contribution has been significant in its technology-enabled classrooms and digital content.
Every quarter it's a shocker with the numbers, but it's a good shocker. I mean, there's a triple-digit percentage gain.
Yeah.
Give me your own fantastical view for Educomp, because I don't know if you saw it coming 3 years back, but 5 years from now, where do you see the business going because of what you feel is happening with education?
Well, I can't give guidance, so to say. But let me flip the question and answer it in a different way.
Yeah.
Currently, we work with about 7 million students in about 15,000 schools worldwide. I think in the next 5 years, that number can go to 10 times. So from 10 million, we could be working with 100 million students. But Mitali, that is just the tip of the iceberg. Just in India itself, there are about 350 million students who could potentially go to school. The country is able to provide education just for 220.
Sure.
So there are over 100 that are still out of school. So this is a big problem, and I hope people understand. Most people don't realize the magnitude of the education challenge. It's a big part of who we are as a nation going to become tomorrow.